Hey everyone, this is the last test we just took, topic 20, standard 1. Now let me say before you fast forward to the problems you got wrong, if you took this online, the problems are exactly the same in the same order. The multiple choice has been scrambled. So look at the actual answer I say, not the letter, okay? And I'll try not to just say the letter, I'll try to say what the actual answer is, because the answers will be the same, it's just been scrambled. So, number 1, we're using this graph for problems 1 through 6. Okay, so the first thing it says is what is the axis of symmetry for the parabola? So that's the vertical line that cuts this in half. So it goes right through the vertex, that's it right there. And it is always x equals something. Now this is the x-axis, so that makes sense. And it goes through the x-axis at the number 2. So it's x equals 2. So see how there's y equals 2? Don't pick that one. It is x equals 2. So whatever letter you have for x equals 2. Then it says what is the parabola of, sorry, not the parabola, the vertex of the parabola. Well, that's either the highest or lowest point. So that is the lowest point because it goes up like a smiley face. And that is 2, negative 3. Okay, so on the x-axis it's 2, on the y-axis it's negative 3, so it's this point here. How many solutions does the quadratic have? Well, the number of solutions is the same as the number of x-intercepts. So if you look here, there is 1, 2 x-intercepts, so that means how many solutions are there? There are 2 solutions. Then it says, what is the domain of the function? I don't even need to look at the quadratic formula because the domain for, or the parabola, the domain for every parabola is always all real numbers, which is that fancy R, double bar R. But the range, I want to go look at the range. I know it has to be Y, but all of these have Y's. I know it's not that one. If we go here, this is how low it goes, and then it's everything above that. So this is negative 3, because that's the y value of the vertex, and then it's everything above negative 3. So we have 2 options here, this one or this one. So since the graph is above, then you want it to open towards the y. So it's this one. The alligator eats the y. You read it as y is greater than or equal to negative 3. Lastly, which of the following statements statements above the parabola are true? Whoopsies, didn't mean it to be like that. Select all that apply, so there could be more than one. So it says the parabola opens up, that part is true. And it says because the axis of symmetry is positive. That is not true. The axis of symmetry has to do with where it's reflected. It does not have to do whether it opens up or down. The parabola opens up because A is positive. That part is true because the A value tells you if it opens up or down. Then it says the vertex is the maximum, the vertex is the minimum. Well, if you look up here, the vertex is at the bottom of this U or valley. That makes it a minimum. Okay, so those are your 2 answers. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, now this one, next one, we're going to use this graph for 7 through 10. So it says, what are the solutions? So the solutions are simply these x values. You do not write the whole coordinate point because that's x values and y values. The x values here are simply 1 and 5. So this is your answer. 1, curly bracket, 1 and 5. Then it says what is the domain? Again, I don't even need to look to know that it's that because it's always all real numbers or double bar R. What is the range of the function? Well, again, here's the top, which is 4 on the y-axis. And now notice it goes down instead of up. So that means that it doesn't eat the y because all the graph is below. It would eat the 4 because the 4 is the highest part of the graph. But if you come down here, it only ends up being one option that has a 4 anyway, so we get lucky. But that is read as y is less than or equal to 4 because, again, the graph is below the 4, so it's less than the 4. And then lastly, it says for the equation of the graphed function, the a value is, and since it opens down, That means the A value is negative. Okay? If it's positive, it's a happy face, it goes up. If it's negative, it's a sad face, it goes like this. If it's 0, it's a straight line like that. So hopefully that's not the case. And there was enough info. Okay, so now for 11 and 12, I left you some space here to do some work. You use this for 11 through 14, but specifically on 11 and 12, you'd want to show work. So it says, what is the axis of symmetry? Well, this is written, the formula is written like 1 million times on the first notes. X equals negative b over 2a. Well, b is 4, so negative 4 over 2 times a, and a is also 2. And you can just put that in your calculator, or you have negative 4, and then 2 times 2 is 4, and then that divides to be negative 1. So x equals negative 1. Boom. And that was even like a little bit more work than I really needed to see. And then it says, well, what's the vertex? Well, the vertex, you take this x value and make it x. So there's two options. I know for certain it's not that one, and for certain it's not that one, because it has to match this one. So hopefully you get that right. Now there's two options, which are the y values. So I'm going to take this equation, and remember f of x is a fancy way of saying y equals, and now every time I see x, I'm going to put in negative 1. So 2, parentheses, negative 1 squared, plus 4 times negative 1 minus 1. And you can use a calculator for that. Make sure that you square everything properly. The important thing is that people forget that negative 1 squared becomes positive 1. That's where people mess up. And then 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 minus 1. And then that becomes 2 minus 4 minus 1, which is negative 2 minus 1, which is negative 3. I did it the long way. Again, you can just use your calculator, but there's your vertex. Negative 1, negative 3. Okay, then it says, does the parabola open up or down, and why? So that has to do with the a value. So my a value from up here is 2. So the parabola opens up because the axis of symmetry is positive. Well, firstly, the axis of symmetry is negative. So for sure, no matter what, that's not true. Because again, axis of symmetry, that's not true. The parabola opens down because the axis of symmetry is negative. Nope, that's not true, because again, the 2 means it opens up. The parabola opens up because a is positive. That is what I'm looking for. And here it says the parabola opens down because a is negative. Well, no, a is positive, so it's for sure not that one either. So that's what you're looking for. The parabola opens up because a, the a value, right up here, it's the number 2, is positive. And then lastly, is the vertex a maximum or a minimum? Well, here we said it opens up. So here is my very, very rough sketch. It opens up. Well, that makes the vertex a minimum because it's at the bottom of our valley. So here it says a maximum. I know it's not that. Here it could be a minimum. The vertex is a maximum. I mean, yeah, it's not that. So here are my two options. The vertex is a minimum because it opens up, which is what I have. The vertex is a minimum because it opens down. Well, no, if it opened down, it would be at the top, which would make it a maximum. So it has to be this one. So if it opens up, then notice the vertex is at the bottom. So do a quick sketch, see what it looks like, and then determine max or min. Okay, then it says, which of the following graphs shows a function with solutions negative 2, positive 2, and a positive a value? So positive a value means it opens up. So I know for certain it's not this one. This one opens down. So it's not that one, which is a. And then this means my x-intercepts are 2 and negative 2. So here, this is actually negative 3 and 3, more likely. So it's not that one. Here, it doesn't cross at all, which means there's no solutions. So it's got to be this guy here because it opens up like a smiley face and it crosses at negative 2 and positive 2. So that is B in this case, but again, in the online it might be different. So it's that one. And then the last one on this page says, which of the following functions has only one solution. So again, the number of solutions is how many times it crosses the x-axis. So here, this one has 2 solutions, so it's not that one. This one here has no solutions because look, here's the axis, it doesn't even touch it. So not that one. Here, this one only has 1, so I'm liking this one. Let me double check the last one. Oh, again, that one has 2. I don't like that. 1 solution means it touches once. So it is the graph that only touches it 1 time. So it's that one. All right. Again, if you did this online, make sure that you look at my answers that I chose, not just the letters. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Good luck.